And I didn't hear anything about that. Ever?
We don't know yet when those results will come back to us in terms of the Common Core Practice Assessment. We know that we will not get any feedback from Smarter Balanced.
Wait a minute. This says how well the students are learning the content aligned to the CCSS. That's what it says on the yellow sheet of paper. That's why we're doing this. That's one of the two things you wanted to get out of this.
And we will receive feedback from the state of Connecticut on that component.
But you just said that it's not the state, it's an organization that's doing it, not the state. So who is providing it? Let's go back over this again. Who is providing the feedback and when are we going to get it? Somebody want to answer that?
No one knows.
We have not been notified when we will receive feedback. I think that for ourselves, when you look at the agenda brief, we were referring to, as we look at our kids, as they go through the simulation, we'd like to see how comfortable they are in answering those questions. Certainly the proctor, the teacher, the proctor is looking to see how the students are faring, how comfortable they are. So that in itself is an indication to us how our curriculum is progressing and perhaps what changes we might need to make.
We will certainly share that feedback with you and receive it from the Common Core Practice Assessment.
Ms. Bush.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to propose maybe an adjustment to the motion to when information is available, when results are available, to report them to the board. Because at this point, knowing what's been going on with how the testing is evolving, there's a lot of trials still going on. So we don't always know at this point how things are going to come out. So I would suggest that you adjust it a little, because they don't know when results would come, but we'd like to know as a board when they do come in.
All right, I'll change it by the end of the school year to when. I mean, I've learned a lot just by putting this motion on the floor.
And is the seconder good with that amendment? Okay, so we have a friendly amendment so that we get the update once the information is available. Is there any other questions or dialogue? Seeing none, I'm going to put the motion to a vote by show of hands. All in favor? And those opposed? I show 2 opposed. Mr. Nicholson is first. And the motion does pass. Ms. Sarno.
I'm intrigued by Mr. Nicholson's comments about Common Core not being a requirement and other states are not adopting and some states are opting out. Is that true?
I understand that 47 states have adopted the Common Core state standards.
Last not 46. So yes,
But it
there's
wasn't.
others looking to get out of it as well.
Well, I was led to believe that we had no choice. Is that true?
State of Connecticut, yes.
The state of Connecticut adopted the Common Core state standards, so districts have no choice.
Is there any other questions for the panel this evening? A lot of information in Ms. Sarno.
I'm sorry. Do you guys get frustrated? Because I get frustrated. Like, give a good teacher a classroom of kids, any kids. Tell them where you want them to go and leave them alone. Get out of their way. Provide the tools they need and leave them alone. And every time somebody comes up with a new educational idea, and it's all trial and error, test and what works and what doesn't. In the meantime, we're experimenting with these kids. We're not giving them what they need in the end. All we're doing is testing our staff and our abilities and coming up with computers and all. And in the end, are the kids really any better off? I just don't believe that they are, because it's all an experiment and the kids are paying the price for it. So somewhere along the line, I think we just have to start saying no. No. Our kids need to be taught, and not with all this other garbage and stuff that interferes in just teaching them. We have teacher coaches, in my opinion, a waste of time. You got to teach teachers to teach, then something's really wrong. And to me, this is, again, what we're doing. You guys, it's not your fault. I'm not upset with you, okay? But I think that we do an awful lot of wasting student time and wasting instructional time instead of just teaching. And to me, this is a perfect example of that.
Seeing no more hands, I'm going to close out the topic on Common Core. Thank you for your presentation this evening.
Thank
It was very informative. Item 6.1, approval of grant. Mr. Person.
I would like to make a suggestion that when we have this many grants, we do a consent agenda, just like we do with our minutes. Someone can pull one if they have a problem with one, but I think that would just save some time. Mr. Griffin has given some very detailed information here. Many of them we're fine with. So I don't know how the rest of the board feels about this, but I'd like to put that forward on motion.
I'll second it.
So I have a motion and a second that, if possible, for future.
And this one.
Let's start now.
So you wish.
I'd like to make 6.1 a consent agenda.
So you wish to make 6.1 as a consent agenda in the future, but you also wish to take action on this as one item this evening. Correct. And we have a second by Mr. Evans. Is there any other discussion on that motion? Ms. Bush, then Ms. Sarver.
I just want to say that that was something that I was also thinking, going through the packet, that it would save time to move on to discussions, that these are things that we would approve, unless there was one that someone had a question about. I would highly recommend we do it tonight and from now on in the future as a practice.
Thank you. Ms. Sarver, you have the floor next.
The motion was just to approve A through E then?
Yes.
That's the motion, okay.
Mr. Person.
But you could pull it just like you. Okay. Thank you.
And Mr. Kemp, did you get your question answered? I saw your hand. Okay.
Well, I thought Kyle meant in the future, but are you making, was that a motion to do?
Tonight
The
and
motion was to do it in the future and tonight, to make this a consent agenda item, so we're approving tonight on a vote all of A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can do that anytime with anything, whether you call it consent or you move to pass A through E, right?
Yes.
Done.
Any further discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we're going to call to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? And it's unanimous. Thank you. That puts us at item 6.2, approval of the 2013 Rockville High School graduation date. Dr. Connor?
Thank you very much, Mr. Houle. I'm asking the board to reduce the number of days required for only the senior class. Right now, they are attending school 181 days. And Project Graduation had put off planning their graduation party, and this is a group that it's a wonderful event for our students, a substance-free event, and it's a great opportunity for them. They win all kinds of wonderful prizes and spend their last night together after high school together. So I would ask that the board set graduation as June 20, which is a Thursday, and allow that to also be the last day of school for our seniors, so that they will be able to graduate that evening and not have to come back to school the next day.
Ms. Fisher?
I move that the Vernon Board of Education approve Thursday, June 20th, 2013 as the graduation date for Rockville High School, and to reduce the school year for the graduating class from 181 days to 180 days.
And do I have a second? Ms. Bush?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion to set the graduation date and reduce the seniors' requirement to 180 days? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to call that motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? And that's unanimous.